Hey guys, it's Char, aka the Charm Maker, and today I'm talking about how I made 1,000 sales in 6 months. If you're new here, hi, I'm Char. If you're new here, hi, I'm Charlotte. Welcome to my channel. Please feel free to like and subscribe and stay a while. I make a lot of content about art, my small business, kind of anything else. Now, like I said, today I am talking about how to make 1,000 Etsy sales in 6 months, and although this may not work for everyone, it worked for me and it worked twice. Right now, where I am, I just hit 2,000 sales, actually 2018, and I started my Etsy shop in late 2019, and it really started to get traction in early 2020. So it's been literally about a year since I started taking my business seriously, and I've made 2,000 sales in that time. In no ways is this a 100% guarantee that you're going to get 1,000 sales in 6 months, but I did get 2,000 sales in a year, so I think it's fair to say that this has worked for me and it may work for you too. So with that little disclaimer out of the way, one thing I'm going to say, just number one thing, how to get 1,000 sales in 6 months. Have the time to dedicate to it. I am a full-time student, and up until like last week, I had a second job as well. So I really am a very busy person, but I've been able to carve around time because I love what I do. I love my small business. I love making content for it. And if you truly love what you're doing, people can tell, and they can tell that you're passionate about it, and then they want to share that passion with you. So I just had my Alexa do some math for me, and over the course of 6 months, which is like 26 weeks, that's about 30 to 40 orders per week, and that's kind of a lot. Of course, it's not consistent. Some weeks I'll have like 6, other weeks I'll have like 50. It honestly all depends, but just kind of a general baseline, you're looking about like 40 orders a week, and depending on what you make, that could be way too much. For me, I am able to mass produce my stuff on a smaller scale because I do have a Glowforge laser cutter, and that's the main thing I use to create my products. So that's kind of a little, I guess, time saver in terms of jewelry, but it still takes me a while. In all of my studio vlogs, you can see days I've spent assembling just a single type of earring just for orders and just to get them out there. So it is a lot of time, especially my shop model. But just know that if you're getting into this and you really want to make it almost a full-time thing, it is going to be very time consuming, and I think it's worth it. One thing I think that's also important to note for this is be proud of what you're making. If you are truly proud of what you're putting out there, then people are going to want to buy it and get it and support you, because you can't have success unless you're proud of what you do, and people can tell if you're not being sincere about something. For instance, there's been products I haven't loved, but I've still posted about them, and then they haven't done well. One, because I don't love them. Two, people don't love them. But if I were to have loved it, maybe more people would have been like, oh yeah, this is cool. Like, not typically my style, but she really likes it. Maybe I'll get it. In terms of more Etsy things, I recommend having 40 to 60 products on your Etsy shop. I know some people are always trying to say what the number is. If you have too little, I think it makes your shop look less credible. If you have too many, I also think it makes your shop look less credible. You really got to find a sweet spot of how many products to have, because for me, I have about 40 to 60 typically. Back in the fall, I had about 70 and I just couldn't handle it, so I took some down that weren't doing as well. It's kind of just an ebb and a flow of figuring out what does well for you, but the more products you have, the more sales you can typically get. But be careful, because if you have way too many, people are gonna know it's not legit, I guess, because there's a lot of drop shipping accounts on Etsy, which is not allowed, but allowed. So people will see a product and be like, oh wow, this shop has 5,000 sales, but they have like 6,000 items, like holy crap. And then they won't buy from there because they're like, oh, this isn't a handmade business. So you want to make sure you kind of find a sweet spot. And for me, it's about 40 to 60 I guess pairs of earrings or types of products I have on my shop. Another more Etsy and I guess Shopify, any kind of sale-oriented website, is photography. Product photography is so important, and I've been wanting to make a video on product photography, which I think I will sometime soon, but it is so important to have a clear picture and clearly be able to see the item. Now with this, that doesn't mean you need to have really fancy setups. I take all of my Etsy pictures on my phone. I'm filming this YouTube video on my phone right now. I used to use a camera in some of my older videos, but it was a very old camera. My phone camera is a lot better. For instance, when my shop first getting more traction last June, I had just pictures of my earrings on a plain white background. Well lit, plain white background. Simple as that, really easy, it was great. Then after about 6 months and my first 1,000 sales, I decided to go ahead and kind of change my photography a bit, make it a little more stylistic, and although I still continued getting consistent sales, it wasn't as clear to see the item. That fancy photography works perfectly for Instagram, but for Etsy, I really recommend just plain, simple background, keep it simple so that people can clearly see what they're buying. So like I said, my first 6 months, first 1,000 sales, I used plain white background. After that time, I went ahead and changed it to something fancier that I now still use for Instagram pictures, but honestly, it just does not work for Etsy. And then after several months of having that fancy photography, I just recently went back to simple white background. Now, not all of my products are switched back to simple white background just because some of them do better with fancier backgrounds, but you really don't want to distract someone when they look at your listing. When they first take a look at your listing, the first thing you want them to see is your product, not was that a fake plant, or oh, I wonder how they did that background. It's just your product, because if they get distracted, they're going to click off and they're going to get lost. Typically, someone will touch a product online like 5 to 10 times. So click on the listing, click out, click back, favorite it, go to your shop, keep looking, kind of go all around your shop, maybe exit back, go look at other listings, but you want them to come back to yours. You want yours to be the one they come back to and be like, yeah, I like this one. Especially with Etsy, when someone can search, like for instance, Minecraft earrings and a bajillion listings comes up, you want yours to be the one that really stands out. As you begin garnering more sales, you'll get more sales. It's as simple as that, because when someone's looking at an Etsy website, they see it and they go, oh, they only have 30 sales and like 1 review. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get that. And that's just the hard part of starting out. You need a good, I think about like 100 people to really be confident in your work and truly buy from you in order to get more people to have that confidence. My personal, I guess, rule when I'm shopping on Etsy is I typically won't buy from a shop that has under 50 sales, but that's just for me and like a protection for my investment on a different product type of thing. I've asked around to friends and family, and they typically won't buy from a shop that has less than 100, and I think that just goes to show, like, as a small business owners, we will buy from shops with less sales simply because we were once there. We know what that feels like and not getting to where we want to be. But I would say with now in the thousands of sales, I get a lot more sales than I did back when I only had 100. I think that really goes into talk about how trust is so important on Etsy. Your customers need to trust you and you need to trust them, because people can just completely decimate your account with a 1-star review. I'm thankful that the lowest review I've ever gotten is a 4-star, but it's kind of going into that trust aspect. Your product needs to look like the pictures, minimally edited, and you need to be able to clearly talk about in your description what the item is. That also really ties into like descriptions and tags and keywords. I want to make a whole video about tags and keywords because I'm still learning about them, so I'm not going to really touch on them here, but make sure you're clearly putting your product in the right category. Nothing makes me more annoyed than when I'm searching for something and something completely different shows up. If I'm searching for, I'm going to use the Minecraft earrings example again. If I type in like Minecraft earrings and like an Adventure Time earring comes up, I'm like, that's not what I was looking for. They obviously tagged this to try and get more like attention to it. I just find that annoying and a little like, okay, calm down, put your item where it's supposed to be. I totally get making views and getting more eyeballs on your products, but when it comes to Etsy and it comes to making sales, you need to have that consistent and clearly have people be able to be like, oh, okay, trustworthy shop, honest shop, this is what I want. Diving into the whole realm of social media now, I could talk for hours about how important social media is for small businesses. Instagram and TikTok and YouTube are so important for a small business. Now, I don't typically use YouTube to like market my products. I do obviously talk about them and show them, but I more do that to kind of show the behind the scenes aspects and share my knowledge about what I know from being a small business owner. But TikTok and Instagram garner me so many sales. Now, I made a video ranking like TikTok versus Instagram recently, but I think one of the things to note is I get more sales from Instagram now, although I have at one point gotten 200 sales in one day from TikTok. That success does not come overnight. You need to put in the time, just as much time as you spend making products and developing products, you need to spend that much time on social media, if not more. Having a social media presence for your small business allows it to keep in the back of your customers' minds. Like, someone could buy from me, follow me on Instagram, and then months later when Instagram finally decides to show them a post of mine, they'll be like, oh, I remember that shop. I really like their stuff. Let's go see what I can buy. I'll drive this point home one more time. Social media is so important. It's so important for small business. I post on TikTok not as frequently as I should. Instagram once a day. YouTube twice a week. It's just so important to really get yourself out there, show off your products, be confident. And one things I wrote down on my little note sheet is make friends. Like, make small business friends, especially on social media, because you can lift each other up, go to each other for help. It's so nice to have someone in your corner that gets it. Making friends that are also like small business owners is so nice because you can talk to them, and 2, you can also lift each other up. I post about their stuff, they post about my stuff, we lift each other up, our audiences see each other, and it's not all about growing. It's also about just being kind to one another and helping each other out and like fostering a community, and it's so much fun to get to see people and talk to people that you love and talking to them about your small business that you also love. Another, of course, important thing about social media besides making friends and posting a lot is consistency. Gotta be consistent with your feed, with your TikTok feed, what you post, everything. You gotta be consistent because people will follow you for one reason, and if you change that, they're gonna unfollow you. So kind of an overall recap, I kind of talked about Etsy, analytics a little bit, and social media a good bit, but you really gotta be confident, gotta have the time, and be able to truly dedicate yourself to your small business. I totally get, like, I'm a very busy person. We all are very busy people, but you really gotta carve apart that time, and if you're truly passionate about it, you'll have no problem doing that. So that is how I made 1,000 sales in 6 months twice. Now, I hope to make 1,000 sales in the next 6 months. We'll see. Just to end this, I want to thank you guys so much for your support lately. I've been gaining a lot of subscribers. I got 200 in the last month, and I just am so excited about that. I'm really happy because I love posting on YouTube, and I see similar people commenting on all my videos, and it's just so nice to be able to talk to you guys and really be able to share my experience as an artist and a small business owner and a full-time student, and be able to talk to you guys about stuff I'm so happy about and see that you guys really like it too. So thank you so much. Little cheesy outro, but if you liked this video, feel free to like and subscribe and join our little family. But I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!